So, today we're going to demystify gout. It has this reputation for being just excruciatingly painful, but here's the surprising part. It's actually one of the most controllable forms of arthritis there is. We're going to break down what's happening inside your body and, most importantly, how you can get a handle on it.
Okay, to really understand gout, you have to start with the pain. And I mean, this isn't just a minor ache or a bit of stiffness. We're talking about a legendary, next-level kind of pain.
And you know, this quote from way back in the 17th century really says it all. This wasn't some detached clinical observation. Dr. Thomas Sydenham was a sufferer himself. He knew exactly what it felt like to be ambushed by this pain in the middle of the night. He even wrote that the weight of a bedsheet on the foot is totally unbearable. Just think about that. That's the reality of a gout attack.
So, what on earth is causing this level of agony? Well, at its core, gout is a type of inflammatory arthritis. But the culprit isn't what you'd think, like an injury. It's these microscopic, needle-shaped crystals. I want you to imagine tiny, sharp shards of glass literally forming inside the soft, delicate space of your joints.
A classic gout flare is anything but subtle. It's a sudden, all-out assault. The joint just blows up. It gets incredibly swollen, it's hot to the touch, and it turns a deep, angry red. Now, the big toe is the most famous target. There's even a name for it, podagra. But it can strike pretty much anywhere. The pain rockets to its peak within a day, and if you just let it run its course, it can make you miserable for up to 2 weeks.
But where is these crystals even coming from? See, the strange thing is, the story of a gout attack doesn't begin when the pain starts. No, it starts way earlier, silently, with this slow, invisible buildup happening right in your bloodstream.
Think of it like a natural recycling process that's always happening in your body. Your body is constantly breaking down substances called purines. Now, these are in some foods we eat, but they also come from the natural turnover of your own cells. When this breakdown happens, it creates a waste product, uric acid. Normally, no big deal. Your kidneys act like a filtration plant, pulling the uric acid out of your blood so you can pee it out. It's a smooth operation.
But the problem starts when that system gets thrown off balance. It's pretty simple, really. Either your body starts producing way too much uric acid, or, and this is actually the most common reason, your kidneys just can't filter it out fast enough. It doesn't mean your kidneys are failing, not at all. They're just inefficient at this one specific job. Either way, you get a traffic jam of uric acid in your blood.
And this number right here, this is the tipping point. When your uric acid level stays above 6.0, your blood becomes saturated. It's like pouring salt into a glass of water. At first it dissolves, right? But if you keep pouring, it eventually stops dissolving and starts to form solid crystals at the bottom. That is exactly what's happening in your body, except the crystals are forming in your joints.
Now, it's important to realize that gout isn't just a series of random attacks. It's a progressive disease, and you can actually map out its journey through 4 very distinct stages. So this shows you the whole journey. It all starts silently, in stage 1. Your uric acid is high, but you feel completely fine. You have no idea what's brewing. Then, bam, you hit stage 2, that first, shocking, painful attack. Stage 3 is the really deceptive phase, the time between attacks. You feel fine again, but those crystals are still silently piling up. And if you don't do anything about it, you can end up in stage 4, where those crystal deposits get so big they form visible lumps, called tophi, that can permanently damage your joints.
So who ends up on this path? You might be wondering, okay, is this just bad luck, or are there specific things that put you at risk? Well, it's definitely not random. It's really a perfect storm of different factors. Genetics play a huge role. If it runs in your family, your risk goes way up. Your biology matters too. Men are more prone to it, and so are women after menopause. Then you layer lifestyle on top of that. Things like a diet heavy in red meat or sugary drinks and alcohol. And finally, other health issues like obesity or kidney disease, or even common medications like diuretics, can be the final push that tips the scales.
Now, getting the right diagnosis is absolutely critical, because the symptoms can sometimes look like other problems, like a bad joint infection. And here's the thing, it's not always as simple as just getting a blood test.
This is a really common point of confusion, so let's clear this up right now. A lot of people, and sometimes even doctors, assume a simple blood test will tell you for sure if you have gout, but the real story is a little more complicated.
So here's the bottom line. A blood test is a clue. It's a piece of the puzzle, but it is not the final answer. In fact, and this is wild, your uric acid level can actually drop to normal during an attack, which is super misleading. The only way to be 100% certain, what we call the gold standard, is for a doctor to draw a little bit of fluid from the painful joint with a needle. When they put that fluid under a special microscope and physically see those needle-shaped crystals, bingo. That is definitive proof. The guesswork is over.
Okay, let's get to the best part of this story, the empowering part. How you can take total control of this disease. Because with the medicine we have today, gout is one of the most beatable forms of arthritis out there.
This slide breaks down the single most important concept in managing gout. Think of it like this. You have to both put out the fire and remove the fuel. Treating the attack with anti-inflammatories, that's just putting out the fire. It gets you out of pain, which is fantastic, but it does nothing about the pile of fuel, those crystals, that are just sitting there waiting to start the next fire. Curing the disease means taking a daily medication that lowers your body's uric acid. That's how you remove the fuel. It slowly but surely dissolves every last one of those crystals.
And this brings us right back to our magic number. The whole goal of long-term treatment is to get your blood uric acid level below 6.0 and just keep it there. Once you do that, it's just simple science. The crystal deposits start to dissolve. And when all the crystals are gone, it becomes physically impossible for your body to have a gout attack. You are, for all intents and purposes, cured.
So this leaves us with one last, really important question. We have the science. We have medications that can effectively cure this disease. We know the exact mechanism. So why is a completely controllable condition still so often undertreated? Why are so many people still suffering from these awful attacks and getting permanent joint damage? It's a fascinating and frustrating gap between what medicine knows is possible and what actually happens in the real world.